After putting down over 9,000 words on the Cubs minor league system this week, I don't think I have any left for MLB Bullets. I'm still lking smwhere I can buy a vwel. The Yankees' secret plan this winter is to sign every relief pitcher in baseball, thus forcing every other team to leave their starters in for 9 innings. Yesterday the Yankees agreed to a 3-year, $27 million deal with free agent reliever Adam Ottavino. David Schoenfield looks at Ottavino and the Yankees' offseason moves in general and how the project are relative to the Red Sox. Schoenfield also points out the Yankees got the guy who can strike out Babe Ruth. Jeff Sullivan also looks at what kind of pitcher the Yankees got in Ottavino and notes that the Yankees now have the best bullpen in baseball by a wide margin. Mike Axisa doesn't think they should stop there and gives 4 reasons that the Yankees should sign either Manny Machado or Bryce Harper. Lupika thinks that Giancarlo Stanton's contract is the reason the Yankees haven't signed one of them and wonders if the Yankees now regret the trade. I do not get this. Stanton was a 4-win player last year. Ben Lindbergh notes that the Yankees are literally one of the biggest teams in history, with the signing of infielder DJ LeMahieu. By that he means that they have one of the tallest teams in history. But Lindbergh notes that the correlation between offensive production and height is also smaller than it has ever been as well. As far as Machado goes, his agent blasted reports from Bob Nightingale and Buster Olney reporting that he had a 7-year, $175 million offer from the White Sox, calling it completely wrong, and wondering if it is an attempt by someone inside the game to drive down Machado's asking price. Verducci makes the case that Bryce Harper's game is perfectly suited to Citizens Bank Park and that he'd have an offensive resurgence if he signs with the Phillies. And sticking with the Phillies, Verducci also reports that the team would like to add Mike Trout to an outfield with Harper once Trout becomes a free agent in 2021. Late last night, it was reported that the Angels have agreed to a 1-year deal with reliever Cody Allen for him to become their new closer. The Twins and the Angels made a minor trade of 2 guys I hadn't heard of, John Curtis for Daniel Azoria. Eric Long and Hagen found it to be an interesting deal of fringe prospects anyway. Red Sox president Dave Dombrowski said that he does not expect to spend a lot of money on a free agent closer. Assuming he's telling the truth and not just throwing up smoke as a negotiating tactic, that would rule out a return of Craig Kimbrell to Boston. Jonah Carey looks at the trend of tanking teams this winter and takes time to praise the Reds for actually trying to improve their ballclub this offseason. It is good and right that we do so, but it's sad that baseball has come to this. Praising a team for trying to win more games. Carey also thinks that the true two-way player is the wave of the future and looks at the Rays' reported interest in free agent infielder Matt Davidson with the plan to use him out of the bullpen as well. There's nothing I like better than a good sportswriter feud. Ken Rosenthal writes that for the good of the sport, MLB Players Association head Tony Clark needs to compromise on proposed rule changes. The Athletic sub. REQ, Craig Calcaterra points out that it is not the union's role to put aside the wishes of the players for something that the commissioner's office wants and calls Rosenthal's argument bizarre. The union is already under fire for giving up too much in the last collective bargaining agreement, and Calcaterra doesn't understand why Rosenthal thinks they should give up even more ground while getting nothing of substance in return. One of the proposed rule changes involves banning the shift. Or more accurately, one of the ideas that is kicking around the commissioner's office is that they need to do something about banning shifts, but it hasn't gotten to the point where they have an actual proposed rule change in place. But Travis Sawchik notes that MLB hitters have already adjusted to the shift and it no longer plays any role in depressing offense. Left-handed hitters actually hit better with the shift on in 2018 than without it. Longtime Reds broadcaster Marty Brennaman announced that 2019 will be his final season behind the microphone. Brennaman has called Reds games since 1974 and is a Ford C. Frick Award winner. Richard Johnson notes that Heisman Trophy winner in athletics first-round draft pick Kyler Murray faced the same decision between two sports that his father and uncle faced, but the circumstances has changed a lot over the past 30 years. Speaking of Kyler Murray's uncle, it has been noted that Calvin Murray was at bat in that famous pitch where Randy Johnson killed a bird. Rangers have a new stadium coming, and Evan Grant reports that the Rangers are leaning towards making it the first new stadium in over 20 years that will have artificial turf. Grant explains the problems with grass in Dallas and how much artificial turf has changed from the 80s when it got a bad reputation. The Dodgers are making plans to increase revenue by turning the entire area around Dodger Stadium into an entertainment district with restaurants and nightclubs, plus a lot of other ideas to up the entertainment value of a ballgame. Dave Roberts reveals that pulling starter Rich Hill in Game 4 of the World Series was the result of a miscommunication between him and Hill. He never intended to pull Hill when he went out to talk to him. The Dodgers went on to lose that game and the series in 5 games. Some MLB players remember some of their favorite home runs that they ever saw. These aren't necessarily ones that they had anything to do with, some are ones they saw growing up as fans. Royals pitcher Eric Skoglund has been suspended 80 games for testing positive for 2 separate banned substances. David Laurel asks outfielder Curtis Granderson the same questions he asked him in an interview in 2007 and sees if he wants to change his answers after a long career in the game. A group of Blue Jays minor leaguers, including Vladimir Guerrero Jr., went curling. Fun was had by all. And finally, check out this very humorous video where Alex Rodriguez talks to a woman who thinks he looks like the guy J-Lo is dating. Rodriguez feigns ignorance for a while and has some fun, calling himself a tool, before revealing himself. If you want to know why Rod's reputation has changed since his retirement, all you have to do is watch a video like this one. And tomorrow will be a better day than today, Buster.